So yes, we are live. Hope everything is okay and people can hear us. So I think, Ajara, we should wait a couple minutes, just our viewers can join us.
Hi, Aida. Yes, of course, sure. Let's wait a bit.
So maybe I can ask a question. How are you doing, Ajara?
I'm fine. Actually, like it's 2 months working remotely, so it's kind of new experience, but I think I got used to it. But next week, hopefully, we are returning back to our offices. And what about you? Are you working remotely?
Yes, we're also working from home, like the
Mm.
same situation as yours.
And then when are you returning back to your office?
I don't know exactly. It's a really hard question for now. I think maybe next week also. So yes, our viewers joined us. So good evening, dear friends. Welcome to our USG Alumni Talks session. And it's my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, TechWomen alumna, Azhar Mambetova. So she will be talking about be remarkable topic, and it's going to be a very exciting seminar today. So please write your questions, leave your comments under this video, and our guest speaker will answer them after the presentation. So first of all, thank you very much, Ajahar, for accepting the invitation and for your time, for sharing your experience. And I think let's start.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining. And Aida, thank you very much for inviting me. It's also exciting for me. I'm really glad to share this experience. Maybe you can open my presentation and then I will start
Sure.
telling like why I decided to tell about this topic.
So can you see the presentation?
Yeah, I can see the presentation. I hope everyone else can also see. Actually, I'm remarkable. It's initiative of Google, and they provide these trainings to the women and underrepresented groups in order to teach them how to celebrate their achievements and how to articulate your accomplishments. Don't be modest and tell about your accomplishments to everyone. I had this training for the first time when I was at LinkedIn during my TechWomen program, and the LinkedIn employees, they gave us this training, and actually it was really interesting and kind of eye-opening for me because I consider myself quite self-confident, but at the same time when I was doing this training I realized that I also not that confident that I should be. um, in general there are like two types of work that you like. Today we are going to talk about the topic about how to be remarkable in order to advance your career. Of course you should be remarkable in your private life, personal life, in your hobbies, but today I would like to talk more about how to ask like for the raise or ask for the promotion, how to be self-confident, how you need to behave during the meetings, because there are two types of work, like visible and invisible. Visible, and you get promotion, you get credits only for the visible work. If we think where I can show myself at the best, it's or like practice my self-confidence or show my work, it's meetings. So we can start from the meetings, and then I will go further regarding more like self-confidence. During the meeting, usually what we are doing, like we are trying to make notes and like remember everything that was said during the meeting. But actually, the first rule that I also heard, and I listening all these videos about how to build your personal brand. During the meeting, there are two rules. You should stop making notes. Like you shouldn't be sitting in the meeting and writing notes. You should sit like more openly with your open shoulders, looking confidently, even if you're not confident inside, but still you should look confident. And if you need notes, just record the meeting, and then there are a lot of tools that you can use to transcribe the meeting that was said during this meeting. And you should never leave the meeting without saying anything. Sometimes, of course, it's difficult to share ideas or share your thoughts during the meeting. But if you don't have ideas, or maybe you don't know how to share your thoughts, you can just comment saying, okay, today it was a really productive meeting. I think that Aida's idea is really a strategic one, and I really liked it. So you supported your colleague. Also, you said comment, and everybody at least know that you were listening and you can make some conclusion. So when you're at the meeting, like, don't take notes, and don't leave the meetings without saying any word. If you go further, if we return um, more about the confidence and why it's important. Of course, it's easy to say, okay, be confident, and but it's not that easy to implement. First of all, I'd like to tell like why confidence is important. And if you go to the further slide, the first topic where you need confidence, it's when you're asking promotion or when you're asking salary raise. It's kind of not very easy topic for everyone. Even myself, I also sometimes, when I was especially early in my career, I was afraid asking for promotion. But recently I read the story of Sheryl Sandberg, it's Chief Operational Officer of Facebook, and she said, when my manager was hiring me, he expected me to have very good negotiation skills and very good communication skills. And if I can stand up for myself and ask for salary promotion, for salary increase or for promotion, it means I have this kind of skills. And your employee, they want you to have these skills, and they want you to implement it in a very effective way. And when she was sharing her story, how she asked for promotion, so she came to her manager and said, this is the only time when we are sitting in the opposite side of this table. I ask this, because I have this kind of skills. I'm doing this for this company. That's why I want you to promote me. And this is also kind of confirmation that if you change the slide, it's I really liked how she was saying this. I would like just you can read and that I said. So you, first of all, you are telling to your manager, saying negotiation and communication skills is important for everyone. That's why you hired me, because I have excellent communication skills. Today I want to use these communication skills to ask for the promotion. And if you go to the next slide, it's also very nice kind of not quotation, but I read from her story also, that your manager, they want you to be champion, and they want you to stand up for yourself, because when you can stand up for yourself, it means you can stand up for their company also. And when there will be tough negotiations, and when you can ask for from the partner favorable conditions for your company, it means you will be better than others who are not asking for the raise and promotion. So when you ask promotion in this kind of approach, I think all managers, first of all, they will be really glad to give you promotion or salary increase. If we can go further to the next slide. Uh, Here I also have very interesting stories sometimes when we I know we all like trying to work hard to achieve our goals, but as I said previously, if you don't tell anyone, then nobody will know that you're trying to do this. And sometimes even uh, when I was also in San Francisco, I asked from my mentor the question, I'm working a lot and I'm trying to change this in my industry, but sometimes I don't see any result. How I should proceed? Should I just quit? And she said like very wise words for me. She said, sometimes maybe you will never see results of your work, but because you are doing this, the next generations will don't have the problems that you're facing now. And sometimes if you don't share your achievements, then nobody will be inspired. And in vice versa, if you really tell about your achievements and what you're doing in this life, maybe somebody will be inspired and will be would like to help you. uh, uh, Also, I like the phrase that they say, if it's based on facts, it's not bragging. you should really be able to say like why you are unique, why you are doing amazing things, and why you are remarkable. Yesterday I was talking with my friend, and while preparing for this workshop, and I asked him, okay, tell me, like, this is the situation. You met Elon Musk in the elevator, and you have the chance to onboard to the work in Tesla. And Elon Musk will ask you, okay, tell me why you are unique. Like, you have 30 seconds, and you should be able to tell like why you are unique. So everybody needs to have this kind of story, and it should be really not very modest, like I'm a good person, but just maybe when you will have time, just sit and think why you're unique. And I'm sure everybody has like unique traits that differentiate them among others. During this workshop, when we had at LinkedIn, we also did a small exercise. I also advise everyone who are listening to us today, just sit maybe after this training or maybe during this training, and write down like, I'm Aida and I'm remarkable because, and just write everything that you think that makes you remarkable. Don't be modest. Sometimes we think like that what we are doing, it's not significant, but you should share. And it would be even great if you can do this kind of workshop among your team or maybe among your colleagues. Just one day you can say, okay, during the lunch, like, let's do small exercise, and everybody need to write like 3 reasons why they think they are remarkable. And when they share, it's also kind of good vibes, because you will see how everybody is excited, how their eyes are shining when they're telling about why they are remarkable. And it shouldn't be like very great achievement. It can be like like, I'm remarkable because like I'm a great mother, and I'm a lovely colleague. I can support my team in every situation. Or like, I'm really doing great things. I'm developing mobile applications, and I think that's why I'm remarkable. Maybe even first of all, it's necessary for yourself, for your self confidence, to know that sometimes like just look back and say, okay, I'm doing everything in very challenging environment, living like in a country with a lot of problems and challenges, but still like doing great things. Sometimes just say good words to yourself and share it with your friends or close ones. If you can go to the next slide. Thank you very much for helping with these slides. Why it also, this is the reason why you also need to be confident, and not just confident, but you need to share about everything that you're doing, and share your confidence, because you will become woman or man of influence, and you will transform the world. It's also related to the previous story, regarding that if nobody knows, even if you're doing great things, if you're really changing the world, but nobody knows about this, then you will not have any supporters. And maybe um, maybe the transformation would be even more impactful if you would have supporters next to you, and you will have more people uh, doing the same. I also like the quotes. I don't know if I can make it in Russian. Like, okay, because of you, I didn't give up. So sometimes maybe you can really change somebody's life and inspire. But of course, it's not easy when, especially I think maybe in our culture, like for example, like especially for the girls, they say, okay, don't boast, be modest, don't show up. But I think if it's really based on facts, it's not bragging. You should remember this phrase, and tell about your achievements, not also not in like personal to the friends, to your colleagues, but you can share it in social media. uh, like, there are a lot of discussions like if social media really harmful to your efficiency or not. But if you are using it correctly, you're sharing interesting content, and you're sharing about your achievements, it's also good channel to tell people about what you're doing in this life, and how they can also build their careers in certain industries. If it wouldn't be online, I would do also small exercise, but I think you can do it at home or with your friends. I usually do it with the people that I met the first time, and asking, okay, can you tell me like 3 words of first impression about me? It's good exercise to know like what is your image to the people. Sometimes we believe that we have certain image, but when you ask other people, especially if you don't know them well, like you have 1 or 2 meetings, they can really tell you what impression you are giving. And if you like this impression, it's perfect. It means like just go on. But if you feel that you don't want to be considered like this kind of person, then maybe you need to try to change the how your what kind of first impression you are giving to the people. It's really easy exercise, like do it with the friends or do it with the colleagues or just ask to the person. Of course, you shouldn't ask it shouldn't be weird, like you're telling the person, okay, there is a small exercise, I'm working on my personal brand, can you share with me like 3 words of the first impression that you had when we met for the first time? So we can go to the next. And actually it's my last slide. I would like more to make it more interactive and respond to the questions. Maybe you can just print it and or like save this photo and like in every morning to remind yourself that you're talented, beautiful, powerful, open, and you can do it. You're strong, hilarious, loyal, and gorgeous. And it kind of uh, good motivation for yourself, telling, yes, I'm talented, that's why I can do it. And please don't forget to share it with us, like why you're talented and what kind of great things you're doing. Mm, this is what I wanted just to share. I think other like other things regarding this I can share more while responding to questions.
Thank you very much, Azhar. It was really powerful, wonderful, motivational presentation, and thank you very much for sharing so many strategies to being remarkable. So, and also I want to kindly remind our friends, please type your questions, and Azhar will answer them. So, my first question is, um, what is your favorite way to reflect?
um, Actually, I think I'm reflecting quite often. Every night, I'm thinking about what I done during the day, but also we like with my team, we are trying to do several things that help us to reflect together, especially during the work. Like every morning, we have daily meetings where we discuss like what I done today, what I'm going to do tomorrow, and what problems I had. And every 2 weeks, we are trying to discuss what kind of problems we have faced and how we are trying to deal them. This is how we reflect with my team in order to make our work more joyful and more efficient. In terms of myself, I think when I'm practicing like yoga while I'm walking, I'm trying to think what I can do better in my life. But in general, like every night, I'm just trying to make results of this day and what I could do better or what I can do better tomorrow.
Thank you very much for sharing the personal experience. And we can turn to the next question. What are the 3 words of impressions about Bishkek American Center and its virtual programming?
Actually, I think I would tell it was really I was really thankful that you invited me, and it was really easy to say yes. I think this kind of uh, formats, it's new for our like it's new for everyone, but during these 2 months everybody's trying to adapt, and it's really great that you're also adapting this kind of format. I would say the impression is the kind of inclusion, but because when I was preparing for the meeting, I've seen that you had a lot of speakers with different background, and it's really nice uh, place to hear different thoughts and to meet very different people with different backgrounds. So maybe first word it would be inclusion, and that kind of the second word may be kind of agility, that you adapted to this situation and trying to make the best that you can, like the best that you can do in this situation.
Thank you very much, Jar. So the next question is, what was the most memorable during your TechWomen program?
I had a lot of memorable moments, but maybe the moment and the time that I spent with my roommate. I had a really amazing roommate. She was the pilot, and she was from South Africa. And despite all the differences in our culture, in age, we were really kind of like-minded people, and it was surprising for myself to find the person and from the different part of the world, but we were really similar in terms how we are thinking, how we are behaving. And maybe all the memorable moments related to TechWomen was somehow related to my roommate. And we had one situation because she was pilot. Of course, she wanted to try to fly over the Golden Gate in San Francisco, and we even found the person who had the private airplane. And we went to the airport early in the morning. It was really cold, but because of the wind, we couldn't fly. It was kind of disappointing moment, but at the same time, while waiting and while we were preparing for our flight, it was also very fun. So this day was, I think, very memorable for myself. And we set the goal that one day we need to return back and actually fly over this Golden Gate Bridge.
Wow, so many cool adventures you had. Thank you very much, Hajar. So the next question, can you tell please about Tech Women community in Kyrgyzstan and worldwide?
The Kuman community is really great worldwide and in Kyrgyzstan also. In Kyrgyzstan, we have a common group, and usually especially when we have interesting projects, we usually send it to other girls or try to invite them to the different very interesting projects or meetings. Uh, I would like to share experience when first I learned about TechWomen, that I was the finalist of TechWomen. I immediately had the congratulations from previous alumni, and they were really very supportive. And before going to before we have left Kyrgyzstan, they made us kind of onboarding or like pre-departure evening where they shared their experience. And maybe this is the community where you feel that they are really great women and they really support you. And when you feel this kind of support, it motivates you also to support others. In general, the greatest takeaway from this program and from this community, that you cannot you only raise while elevating others. So you can advance in this life only when you're helping to raise others. And while you're in this community, you really feel this support. You really feel that cool people on your backing you up. And maybe this is give you kind of sense that you also can do it because they believe in you and they support you.
Wow, it's amazing. Thank you very much, Hajar. So the next question for you. What is your occupation and how your advices help you in your career?
I am head of digital business department in a commercial bank, and me and my team were developing mobile application named Companion. I'm working in a companion bank. Actually, regarding the advices, uh, in the beginning, I also had kind of problems with self-confidence, especially when I was in the university. I even was afraid to call because I was thinking, okay, what I will tell to the person if he will ask me or she will ask me like a difficult question, how I will answer this. So because of this, I decided to go to work to the call center in order to challenge myself. And sometimes you need just to step out from your comfort zone and try to overcome your fears. And also this one of the advices that I didn't share, but it also helped me, it's kind of fake it before you make it. Sometimes you're not confident, but you can behave confident, and at the end your psychology will think, okay, like I need to behave like this because like you will just transform your brain. Regarding the advice, I'm always trying to share my accomplishments in the stories in the Facebook. I'm trying to tell everybody what I achieved. And this, of course, helps me in my career a lot because kind of you are building your kind of like image of the expert. And sometimes some projects or some partners, you are not going them and asking, please join us, but they are because they know that you are kind of successful person, you have good network, they approach you. It helps you to build your network, and it really helps a lot during the work for me. Even in a Facebook, sometimes all my partners, they find me like either in Facebook or LinkedIn saying, okay, like I've seen doing this, can we collaborate?
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Jan. So the next question is, what is the difference between being remarkable and being self-confident?
mm, I think it's just one part of an other, like being make you remarkable. In order to be remarkable, I think you need also to do some kind
Jan, do you hear me? I think we lost you. Jan? Oh, sorry. I think we faced some technical issues.